up yesterday, but for some reason we were unable to do it yesterday. So today we're going to be looking at what are the events that happens in Chelsea in the past 24 hours or more. So first of all, we are going to be talking about Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto was eventually unveiled at Chelsea, and it was a nice scene, nice atmosphere out there at Chelsea when he was unveiled. On the scene right there, we see him being sitting on one of the staircase into the ground at Chelsea, and he's really feeling okay. He's ready to hit the ground running. So it was a nice atmosphere yesterday having Pedro Neto in the house. So this is going to be an interesting season with him. There are a lot of things to catch up with in the news today. This is the part of how he was unveiled yesterday. He was walking through the stair there to get into the ground. This was at the interval yesterday when the match between Chelsea and Inter Milan was played. It's soaking in the moment. Yes, waving his hands to all the fans, in being unveiled, being shown to the fans at Stamford Bridge. That's the ground. This is his new playground. This is where he's going to be playing in front of his fans, where he is going to be entertaining, making those moves that get everybody standing on their seat to see a wonderful player playing his trade for Chelsea. So it's all wrapped now. It's all wrapped now. The Premier League website also put this up yesterday, acknowledging the fact that Pedro Neto joined Chelsea from Wolves, and this is a 7-year deal, and he has already played about 111 games in the Premier League already, and he's scored 11 goals. In terms of statistics, that is very low. 11 out of 111. That is going to be like 1% goal return. But what this dude could do on the pitch is much more than what the stat says there. That's why sometimes people need to understand the concept and some of the background and context behind just numbers. Numbers all the time doesn't tell all the truth. So what are the other things in the news today? In the match that was played at Stamford Bridge on Sunday, we have a moment there when Lesley came on to replace. I was trying to remember who he came on to replace again, but however, he came into the play to replace one of the players there, and he put in the shift, particularly when Malo Gusto was pulled out, and we have Caicedo stepping into that role to cover for the right back, which some of us already suspected might happen if for any reason we don't have Gusto. Maybe he's tired, he's been managed for fatigue and stuff like that, and then you need to have another player in that position. One logical player in the team that could play there would be Wesley Fofana, Caicedo himself, given the fact that we have a lot more midfielder right now. I know that it's been touted before that Lesley Ogochukwu will be going out on loan this season, but we may begin to rethink that decision. We need to rethink that decision. How many central defensive midfielder do we have in this team? We have Lavia, we have Caicedo himself, and then we have Lesley Ogochukwu. A lot of people see Enzo Fernandez as a defensive midfielder, but the truth is that he's really not a defensive midfielder. This Enzo Fernandez could be seen as a midfield player. Let's just call him a midfield player who could also play as a number 8, an attacking midfielder, somebody who could run the show, somebody who could get on the ball and dictate the play. It could be a playmaker. It could be a deep line playmaker who plays beside the pivot player, the number 6. That is how I see Enzo Fernandez. So we really cannot depend on Enzo Fernandez's defensive capability in that midfield. So if we're talking about defensive capability, we're talking about Lesley, Ogochukwu, Caicedo, and then we're talking about Lafayette. So I think because of that, we should rethink the idea of sending him out on loan. We should slow down on that. But he put in the shift yesterday. He put in a great shift, and then he was given the man of the match, and which he quite deserved because he saved Chelsea yesterday. It could have been another loss, but he saved Chelsea by equalizing that goal towards the end of the game. And I think it's a fair result. Chelsea had more shot on goal, had more possession, should have scored goals in that game, and then we could see that the team is progressing. We're not going to be there overnight, but we're making progress. That is very clear. Okay, so there's something going on in the community yesterday. This is Joao Felix. So why are we talking about Joao Felix? Where did this come from? So there's a lot of things happening in the background. Okay, this is what happened yesterday. From nowhere, it comes out and it hits the news that Samu Omorodian deal to Chelsea from Atletico has collapsed. And we're wondering, why is that? As we speak right now, is there up to debate? Is there up to speculation? What has really happened? But there are news out there. There are people talking about the fact that it might have failed its medical. I even saw somewhere where some other people were talking about maybe Samu already have an ankle injury that maybe what was not disclosed and Chelsea got to know about it. There are other reports talking about how Chelsea is making a move to own 50% of his image right. So there are a lot of conflicting news out there. One thing is sure, this deal is not going to happen, and that is what brought Joao Felix into the conversation again. Why are they talking about Joao Felix? Is because the deal between Samu Omorodian and Chelsea in a way is tied to Conor Gallagher going from Chelsea to Atletico Madrid. And because of that, if the deal for Samu Omorodian doesn't get done, then it means that the deal for Gallagher going to Atletico is also under threat. So because of that, to save that deal and to keep that deal on track, to keep it in place, Joao Felix is being offered being an Atletico Madrid player. And we can keep an eye on this space just to be able to know how this turns out at the end of the day. Does Chelsea really need Joao Felix? Well, it's another body with experience that could play in the new system. It's not going to be a minus, it's going to be a plus. So let's see how this plays out at the end of the day. But one thing is sure, Samu Omorodian deal to Chelsea is off. We're not going to have him in the squad anymore. So from here, where do we go? Let's say it all played out really nicely and it works well. That means we're going to have Joao Felix. And on top of that, there are rumor, let's not call it rumor, let's say report, that Chelsea is now taking a concrete step towards signing a real striker, an established striker, somebody with experience, somebody who could come into the squad and actually be an addition to the squad. And that is in the person of Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen to Chelsea, from all indication, is on. In the past few hours, there's been a lot of news about what is really happening and how this is gonna turn out to go on eventually. So exclusive from Fabrizio Romano was that Chelsea is already making a request to Conor Gallagher to come back to London on Tuesday, and they are set to book his flight. So Chelsea is not playing around here, and I am not sure this is what Atletico want. I think Chelsea want this deal to go through. They need the money. They need to balance the book. Atletico wants the player, so they have to figure it out one way or the other. But in the past few hours, what is really coming out that is very clear is the fact that Chelsea is looking to have Conor Gallagher back. They're ready. They are open to the idea of having him back. And we just hope that they figure this out at the end of the day. But on a lighter note, and we're going to be running off this video on this note, there are some things that happens every year, and this is what is coming up right now. Look at this. Look at this. This is a short at Liverpool fans. So what do we have in the news in the past few hours is that Martin Subimendi has rejected Liverpool. Is that a surprise? Certain things happen around the same time every year. About the same time last year, this was August 2003. What do we see happen? Moise Caicedo has rejected the chance to join Liverpool after Brighton accepted £111 million offer for him. So the midfielder wants to join Chelsea. And then this time around, they're also looking for Supermendi. And then who does he want to join? The guy wants to stay with Real Sociedad. So something just doesn't change. And what is that? Liverpool being rejected by the midfielder they are really looking forward to. If you enjoyed this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And we see you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.